guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you got yourself some popcorn or some snacks, because today we're talking about the most requested. It's not even anything requested, okay? I'm just trying to save it so I sound a little bit cool, but it's simply talking about the game being overhyped, okay? AKA Spider-Man PS4 being way too overhyped. Now, I just see this comment across many videos of not just my own, but like on like forums pretty much, and just the general internet, I guess you could say. You see people saying that ideas and, you know, what people expect for the game is just simply way too much, and that the game is being overhyped to a ridiculous amount that people will actually be disappointed when the game comes out. Now my question to you guys is, alright, do you feel like a game can actually be overhyped, and do you feel like that simply affects the way a game performs to some extent, or like people's thoughts on the game? Get in the comment section below and let me know how you feel about that. But I don't think a game can be overhyped to, you know, basically an extent where it ruins the entire game, at least in my personal opinion. With Spider-Man PS4, like, for instance, loads of people are just flat out hyped for it because it has been like one of the first Spider-Man games, not just on the new generation of consoles, but in how many freaking years, right? And it's just such a big franchise essentially when you look at it across the field, if you will, because this game, from what we have seen, is just a game changer, alright? You know, with new consoles coming out, like, let's be honest, PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox, whatever that will be, realistically speaking, is gonna come out in, if not the next sort of 2 years, the next 3 years kind of be a max, because new technology comes out, new things happen, games move on as a whole. So when you see it this way, like, these last couple of games coming out being PlayStation exclusives are kind of gonna go down in like Hall of Fame, if you will. So from what everyone's seeing and everyone's expectations, it's just like an accumulation of many things into one. So when we share ideas, for example, it's not actually putting pressure on game developers, at least in my opinion anyway, because I've also seen people saying that, like, if you request an idea and stuff like that, a community essentially is the reason why a game could be delayed. Now, I don't know how the Insomniac game team really work, you know, in general, like, are they going to release a game because they are satisfied to, you know, the game and how it's playing and they feel they've done a great job, or will they simply kind of like hold a game until they make sure they grab everyone's ideas and literally just throw it in the game so no one makes like a bad comment on the game? I don't think that's how they work at all, and I think it's something that really needs to be taken into consideration when you look at other games that genuinely have been overhyped, and you know, the way they've resulted are different, because you can overhype a game and then it has like a major turntable essentially. And a great example for this, and the Watch Dogs series, may I just say, is a great series in my opinion, but I think it's safe to say that everyone's first kind of like initial perspective on the game when they announced, you know, it on the PlayStation 3 and X, Y, and Z, it didn't really come out great. Let's be honest, right? We saw PlayStation 4 version, that looked incredible, and then they took a major downgrade on that. And I know we're talking like two game developers here, but I'm just using it as an example. So they took a major turntable on that, degraded the game for like current gen consoles, and then people that were on the old gen consoles just took a massive hit. But that was a game that literally had so much hype behind it because it was a new game in a franchise in X, Y, and Z. But that's a prime example to say, you know what, a game is overhyped and that, you know, it simply didn't live up to it. But I think being excited for a video game and then saying, I feel like this game is great already, but it'd be also cool if this was in the game, that was in the game, and X, Y, and Z, I don't think that's a bad thing at all, because when you make a game, and I've never done this in my entire life, may I just say, okay, I have no idea how to make games, but kind of sharing my thoughts on this whole topic, when you make a game, you try and make it like, you know, the coolest game you've possibly ever made in your entire lifetime. Like, if you make a game now, you want to make your next one even better than your last one. You can't make your next game like level out with your last game, or essentially just be like poorer essentially to the last game. Like, you can't go backwards, you have to go up the ladder and you can't stay in the middle either. So it's literally you move up or you move down, that is entirely up to you. But when a community comes together, it's a great thing, it's a magical thing, because sharing ideas is only going to make a franchise better in a game. You see game developers that literally do not even listen to, you know, the fans of the series as a whole. So whatever games they make, they simply do not care. It's if they like it, that's what's going to happen. The community doesn't like count basically. We just know it's a big franchise and that it will sell flat out. Again, another game I'm going to go back to is Call of Duty. They went down a different road. Saints Row went down a different road. Even though these are complete different games, I'm just trying to give you guys like a better insight. So hopefully you see what I'm saying here. In listening to a community is such a key thing. YouTube being such a powerful platform as a whole, and the internet being such a powerful platform as a whole, it can only make a game developer, you know, do greater things in the future. So here's the thing, if a game's gonna get delayed, it's simply gonna get delayed. What the community wants and, you know, what people request and demand personally would not have an impact on, you know, the game's release date, for instance. So people need to really like step off the ladder of, guys, stop asking for everything because this is why the game's getting delayed. It's not like that, people, okay? It doesn't happen like that at all, and if it did, no game would freaking release, alright? But it's all about making a game to like its perfection. I personally don't want to see Insomniac rush Spider-Man, right? And just release it simply because, you know, everyone wants the game. Like, that's another thing we should take into consideration. Like, if you turn around on the opposite table and be like, well, everyone else is actually really requesting this game and kind of like pressuring Insomniac Games because they know people are getting super annoyed with this stuff and they might just throw a game out there that's not been polished up, or it has been polished up but they've just kind of like skimmed and scammed it pretty much, and they just want to give you guys the game now so the community are happy, then that would just go down a whole different road. So the way I currently see it with this stuff going on, because coming up with E3 and so forth, right, this would actually make it a third year running that a game, at least in my sort of like knowledge anyway, has actually gone to E3. Like, I don't think I've seen a game make an appearance at E3 3 times, pretty much, like back to back, literally. That is just insane. And going on, you know, where we currently stand, could it be a possibility? Sure, I do think it could be a possibility, but before all that sort of stuff, I reckon around that time we're going to be getting closer to the release date. It will be releasing around that time, so everything they will showcase will be new stuff, and you know, that's really as simple as it gets. But we shouldn't pressurize Insomniac Games in forcefully requesting them to release a game, sure thing, and I think sharing ideas is just a great thing that hopefully developers will take a look into and make the next game a lot cooler than this one, because we haven't had a Spider-Man game in such a long time, so it's instantly going to be great. We've already seen that stuff, alright? But the next Spider-Man game after this, we don't know how long is, you know, pretty much going to take to even come out. Are they going to start making it more of a common thing, like every 3 years, for example? Or is it going to just take a massive drought in terms of the space of the last game and the new one, just like the last Spider-Man game? I'm pretty sure that's something like not everyone wants to see, but ladies and gentlemen, get in the comment section below and share your thoughts on, is overhyping a game bad for the game in general and bad for developers, and does it result in when a game comes out? Those are kind of like my thoughts on the whole topic. Also, another really good thing to probably throw into this conversation is trailers, and I guess you could say as a whole, right, across all fields, because there's like cinematic trailers and gameplay trailers. Is that another thing that we should be, you know, requesting or be in demand with, really? Because all these things really go across so many different fields. It's like the next trailer we get simply will reveal everyone's questions, or they can just chuck a trailer out there simply to keep everyone quiet. I mean, all these things kinda add up and, you know, have their own paths, if you will. But I thought I would share this stuff because it is good to, of course, get the community's thoughts and whatnot, because that's what makes everything a whole lot more cooler. But ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys in the next video, where we're going to be talking more awesome ideas and hopefully news. The kind of like hype and teasing has pretty much gone down on Twitter from the developers and whatnot. So could that mean something else? Is being quiet a good or bad thing? we shall wait and see, pretty much. Also, if you missed the last video, the link is in the description below. There's also a whole playlist of all the Spider-Man videos that we have done, and I mean, if you're new to the hype train, trust me, like, tune into those videos and get yourself up to date. But I will see you guys in the next one. But till then, I hope you have yourselves a freaking ridiculously awesome day, and until the next one, guys, adios amigos.